Welcome to Ben and Jen's podcast. Have you ever had that awful, heart-stopping moment? Your brand new phone slips, it tumbles, seemingly in slow motion, towards that hard, unforgiving floor, that split second of just pure dread. Well, today on The Deep Dive, we're cutting through all the marketing noise. We're looking at actual customer feedback. We analyze what real buyers are saying, sharing those insights to help you make genuinely informed purchasing decisions.
Exactly. It's really about getting past what the company claims, and digging into what real people just like you listening now, have actually experienced. Because, let's face it, protecting something like a new smartphone, that's a big deal. Understanding those real-world wins, and yeah, sometimes the little frustrations too, that's invaluable. We're here to give you that unfiltered look.
And just quickly, for those ready to make that informed decision, the product buy link is right there for you in the pinned comment and description. So, our mission today, let's unpack the Spigen Tough Armor AI MagFit case. This one's specifically for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge. We've gathered all the key details, the important bits from product descriptions and from tons of genuine buyer reviews. Think of this as your shortcut to really knowing what's what with this accessory. Okay, let's get into it. We're talking about the Spigen Tough Armor AI MagFit designed for Galaxy S25 Edge case, black, the 2025 model. When Spigen launches this, what are the core features they really push? Like, what's their main pitch right out of the gate?
Well, what's really striking is how they position it. It's immediately framed as just an absolute fortress of protection. They hit you straight away with military-grade defense using something called extreme protection tech. But it's not just a buzzword. This involves, interestingly, AI-enhanced XRD foam placement. And they mentioned it's optimized via an LS-DNA test.
LS-DNA.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds technical. AI-enhanced foam. What does that actually mean for the case?
Right. It sounds complex, but the idea is pretty smart. LS-DNA is this advanced simulation software. Think automotive crash testing, that kind of thing. It models impacts really precisely. So using AI to figure out the best placement for this XRD foam means the case is designed based on thousands of simulated drops. It predicts where the impact cushioning is needed most. So the insight is it's a smarter case, really engineered to handle falls better.
Wow, okay. Military grade, AI-enhanced foam.
Right.
It definitely sounds like more than just plastic, like actual intelligent armor. But for our listeners, the everyday person, how does that fancy tech translate into, well, peace of mind? End of the day, they just want to know their shiny new S25 Edge will survive a drop off a table, right?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Do the claims hold up, when the phone actually hits the concrete? And honestly, the feedback we've sifted through, it overwhelmingly says yes. Take one reviewer, Anzanaji, they are pretty blunt, called these the absolute best armored cases on the planet for the price. And this wasn't just a one-off comment. This person owned 4 of these tough armor cases over the years for different phones.
4 cases? Wow. Okay, so they're a repeat buyer. What kind of experiences did they share?
Really remarkable stuff. They talked about phones surviving multiple drops onto solid concrete. And get this, one time a phone apparently got thrown across the room on accident. And crucially, no damage. Even on phones with those tricky curved screens and without extra screen protectors. That's pretty convincing real-world.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, especially for comparison. Anzanaji didn't just praise Spigen. They also mentioned their work phones, which had OtterBox cases. Apparently those phones suffered less abuse, but still ended up damaged, which really contrasts with their own Spigen-protected phones. That's a pretty powerful side-by-side comparison, wouldn't you say? Really highlights it as a serious alternative.
Indeed it is. And it's not just Amzar J saying this. We saw another customer specifically label it a great OtterBox alternative. They confirmed, quote, comparable protection at a more affordable price without the added bulk. That theme comes up again and again. Similar or even better protection, better value, less bulky.
And how does it achieve that protection without the bulk? What's the design like?
It comes down to this dual layer system they use. There's an inner piece. It's usually rubbery, sometimes with this spiderweb pattern inside.
Oh yeah, I've seen that pattern. Does it actually do anything?
They say it does. It's meant to help distribute the shock, kind of spread the impact force out. Plus there are shock absorbing pads in the corners. Then over that, you have a hard plastic outer shell. That combination, the soft inner layer and the rigid outer, seems to be the key to its toughness. It feels like thoughtful engineering.
Okay, so protection, check. Sounds like it really delivers on the tough part of its name.
Right.
But what about using it every day? Beyond just surviving drops. The product details mention MagFit compatibility and that little kickstand. How do those features actually hold up in real life?
Right, the daily usability. The MagFit feature, which means it has that magnet built in for Galaxy compatibility, gets really strong positive feedback. People confirm it plays well with MagSafe style accessories. That's a big win for convenience using chargers or mounts. And they also say wireless charging works flawlessly, even apparently with sometimes picky factory car chargers.
Okay, flawless wireless charging and accessory use, that's definitely a plus. Makes life easier. But the kickstand, that seems to pop up a lot in reviews. What's the general feeling there? Is it a useful addition or a bit of an afterthought?
Yeah, you definitely picked up on a key point there. It's, let's say it's a bit of a mixed bag. Lots of people find it convenient for watching videos, horizontal viewing, streaming, video calls, that sort of thing. But the design itself, it gets described as a little flimsy or not great, even barely holds the phone up sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. One reviewer, Coach Dave, made a specific comparison, said his older Spigen case had a sturdier metal kickstand that worked both ways, portrait and landscape. This one, it's plastic and really just supports landscape mode. So it works for what it is, a quick prop, but don't expect something super robust or versatile. Seems like a slight compromise there.
Gotcha. Functional for landscape viewing, but maybe not the most premium or flexible stand. So not a deal breaker, but good to know. Which brings us to the overall feel. With all this protection packed in, does it make the S25 Edge feel, huge, like a brick? Or does it stay reasonably slim?
That's another area where it seems to score well, surprisingly. Despite the heavy-duty protection, a lot of reviewers mention being pleased that it adds only a minor amount of bulk weight. They say the phone still feels secure in your hand, which is important, but without being bulky or overpriced. It seems to strike that balance pretty well, giving you the confidence of protection without totally ruining the phone's design. It avoids that brick feeling.
That's great news. Finding that sweet spot is tough.
Yeah.
And you mentioned people sticking with the brand. We saw that reviewer, Chu, right, who tried a bunch of other Spigen cases first, like the thin fit, rugged armor.
Yes, Chew. Their journey is really interesting because it's a comparison within the same brand. After testing out the thin fit, the hybrid, 01, and rugged armor, they landed on the tough armor. Why? They felt it offered the best protection, had a feel of real quality, and this was an interesting point they made, noted it was made in South Korea.
Ah, the manufacturing origin.
Exactly. They contrasted it with some of the other Spigen lines they tried, which were made in China, and to them at least, felt a bit less premium. It suggests that even within one brand, there can be perceived differences in build quality that matter to consumers.
Okay, so putting this all together,
Yeah.
after looking at the specs, the AI tech, the real user stories, what's the takeaway for someone listening right now trying to choose a case for their S25 Edge? Sounds like you get serious proven protection, and maybe without the usual drawbacks.
That's pretty much the consensus, yeah. The value aspect comes up constantly. People call it insane value for the quality. Often under $25, which, when you compare it to competitors like OtterBox, whose prices some say have doubled, it's a huge difference. And Spigen itself, as a brand, has a strong reputation. On Amazon, it's a top brand. You see things like 100K plus customers rating items from this brand highly.
Wow, 100K plus.
Yeah, and 100K plus orders recently, plus a low returns rate. All the signs point to pretty consistent customer satisfaction across their range. It's not just this one case. The brand seems reliable.
That's definitely reassuring. Strong brand reputation, solid product performance, and actually thinking about the bigger picture, beyond just the phone and the price. I noticed something about sustainability mentioned with this case.
Yes, that's another layer, and an important one for many people now. The Tough Armor case is Climate Partner certified. What that means, essentially, is they've measured the carbon footprint of the case's entire life cycle, from materials, making it, shipping it, everything. They've worked to reduce those emissions, and then, crucially, they offset the rest by investing in environmental projects.
So they're actively trying to balance out its environmental impact.
Exactly. Things like reforestation or renewable energy projects. So choosing this case isn't just about phone protection. You're also, in a way, supporting a company that's taking steps on climate action. It adds that environmental angle to the decision.
A case that protects your phone with some pretty advanced tech, offers good features like MagFit, comes in at great value, and has a climate certification too. It definitely paints a more complete picture, doesn't it? Adds another dimension to what makes a product compelling. You've been listening to Ben and Jen's podcasts, where we help you make informed decisions, one product review at a time. So think about it. Are you just looking for basic protection or something engineered for durability, offering solid value, and maybe even reflecting a bit more? Food for thought. We'll catch you next time.